Hello everyone, this is Pratiksha. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Easter egg holder for carrying out your Easter egg hunts. All you have to do is pop your Easter eggs in here with the tiny ones, or you can put one large one in here. It will fit one large one, and you just fasten it off by pulling the loop through, and you can create these in different colors, either in one color each, or you could use 2 different colors. So let me get my yarn and my materials for you here. So this is the Hayfield bonus chunky yarn. The color used is denim, and I'm using a crochet hook in size 6mm. I'll also be using a yarn cutter or a scissor, whatever you have handy, and a tapestry needle in order to sew your ends in at the end. Now this pattern requires you to create 2 of these oval shapes with a puff stitch, and then we will connect them on the side and create this loop, so in order to accommodate your tiny Easter eggs inside. And you can then create an Easter egg hunt for your children, and you can use this year after year. It's a good sustainable option as well. You can always add new colors every year if you wish, and it just is a nice creative way of celebrating your Easter egg hunt. And they're very nice to pop onto your Easter egg tree as well, if you have one. And they're lovely to even give as gifts. So let's get started with this pattern. So I'm just going to grab my 6mm crochet hook. Now this one we're going to create with 2 different colors. So I have already created one of these in denim and storm cloud. The colors, of course, you can select the colors that you wish, and we are going to first create our initial circle, and into that circle we will work 7 puff stitches in the first row, and in our second row we'll go and increase our puff stitches. So let's get started with our initial circle. So either you can make a magic ring, or you can do your normal slip knot and create 4 chains. Once you have done that, you're going to go back to the first chain on your hook. So basically skip 3 and to the 4th one, and you're going to slip stitch there to create your initial circle. Now we can get started with our puff stitches. So chain 1 to begin, and then the puff stitch. Now let me show you how to do the first puff stitch. You have to do yarn over thrice. So yarn over, pull through, just gently tug your hook towards the right side so that you can kind of create some space for when later on you'll have to pull through all the loops. You're going to do this 2 more times, so that's 2, yarn over, pull through, and 3rd time yarn over, pull through. You will now have 7 loops on your hook, and you're going to simply go and yarn over and pull through all of the loops, and then a chain 1 on top. So we're going to make 6 more puff stitches into this same circle. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. 7 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all of the loops, and chain 1 on top. We're going to now carry on doing this till we get our 7 puff stitches. So if you have lost count of how many times you did a yarn over, you can always go and count how many loops you have on your hook before you pull them through. So I've got 7 loops, yarn over and pull through all of these loops and chain 1 on the top. So I have now done 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 so far. I'm going to do 2 more, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now as I'm pulling through, I'm making sure I'm tugging it slightly onto the right, so I'm creating enough space for my loop to pass through and my hook to pass through when I'm doing my last yarn over, and pull through all the 7 loops. And then I have to do a chain 1 on the top and get back into my same circle and create my last puff stitch for this row. So once I've done that, if you were doing a magic circle at this point, you can pull this tail and cinch it closed. And if you are not doing the magic circle, if you are just doing the normal method as me, then you can just still pull this chain, this tail, and make this circle smaller. And now to finish this row, before that I'll just double check if I have done all my puffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes. And then I'm going to go on top of this first puff. I'm going to do my slip stitch here to complete my row. I'm going to do a slip stitch over there. Make sure it's nice and tight, but not too tight, but nice and good tension tight. And then I'm going to make a chain 1. I like to make a chain 1 in the end, especially when I am changing colors, and then leave a small tail and then cut off your yarn. And then you're going to pull this out and then gently pull this tighter so it's nice and knotty. It's got its own knot now and it's nice and secure after I've pulled it through. So now I'm going to grab my second color, which is the storm cloud, and I'm going to add that on to create the same one of another one of this one. So I'm going to make a slip stitch, sorry, a slip knot, and I'm going to put my hook through and accommodate it in, and then I'm going to start into any of the gaps between the clusters. Now as you can see here, we have got 2 puffs in between 2 puffs from before, so we are increasing here, and so we will have a total of 14 of these puff stitches as you finish the second row, and it will create a nice shape which will be then joined into 2. Alright, so let's get into one of these gaps and create a chain. Now I'm going to start my puff stitch by yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through 3 times. 7 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all of them. Chain 1 on the top. Once I've done that, now I have to do 1 more into the same gap as this. So I'm going to go into the same space here and make another puff stitch. 1, 2 and 3. 7 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all of them and chain 1. So I've done my first 2 and I'm going to do 2 and into every gap. So you're going to carry on doing this in the entire row. So carry on doing this till you get to the end of the row. Make sure you're putting your hook into the right space, because we don't want it to be between the stitches inside the puff. It has to be between the clusters of the puff. And make sure you're doing 2 in each and not missing any of your puff stitches, because that will create a different shape altogether. and there is a chain one only on the top of the puff stitch. There is no chains in between the stitches, but every time you finish a puff, you're doing one on the top. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of it now, and I've got one more space to do the last 2 clusters, which is this one. So I'm going to go into this space and make my last 2 clusters. And when I have finished all my clusters, I should have 14 clusters in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And now to finish this row, I'm going to now slip stitch on top of my first puff of this row, which is this one. So the top of it is this. So I'm going to just on top of that chain, I'm going to do a slip stitch and then a chain 1 and cut off my yarn. Now at this time, if you see your circle, it looks more circle than a oval shape. So what you're going to do, you're just gently going to pull this and create a slightly oval shape. And now we're going to join it after we have done our sewing in ends. So I've just sewn at the ends of this one before, and I'm going to sew this ends in, and I'll meet you in the next video where I'll show you how to join these two to create this sort of little crochet egg holder, crochet chocolate Easter egg holder. So I hope you enjoy this pattern, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.